If you want to build a gaming PC that's around $1,000 and you also want the RTX 3070, this is going to be the right video for you. There are a few reasons on why you may want to buy the RTX 3070 for your build, but overall it's a great 1440p GPU. So if you want that GPU and you want a great 1440p gaming experience for under $1,000, I highly recommend you staying until the end, and I will also show you a GPU that's actually faster for gaming for a cheaper price. And if that's not enough, I will also show you different components if you want a gaming desktop that's a bit more expensive with better performance, or a bit cheaper without losing much performance. So please stay until the end because this video will help you out a lot. You will have all the links to these components down below in the video description, so maybe when you're watching this video prices are even lower or maybe more expensive, and for that reason I highly recommend you checking those links for the latest prices. With that being said, let's start. The first component that we are going to take a look at is going to be the CPU. I picked the AMD Ryzen 5 5600. This is a 6-core 12-thread processor, and if you don't understand anything about computers, basically it's going to be fast enough for 1080p and 1440p gaming, and even 4K depending on the GPU that you want to pair the CPU with. And we all know the i3 12100F is usually the budget king, but this CPU it's only $12 more expensive than the i3, and you get 2 extra cores and an overall faster gaming CPU. For that reason, I picked this one instead of the i3 or any i5 because those are actually quite a bit more expensive than this CPU. For the GPU, as the title says, we have the Zotac RTX 3070. This is $530 and is going to perform great at 1440p and even 4K depending on the games that you want to play. So if you play games like CSGO, Valorant, Fortnite, you can play those games at 4K. But there are a few reasons on why the 3070 might not be your best option, and that reason is just gaming. If you want a PC that's just going to be for gaming, you don't want to do video editing or just any content creation, and you really don't care about ray tracing or DLSS technology, which by the way on the AMD side you get the FSR, which is becoming really close to DLSS, then the 6800 might be your best option. This one is around a 9% faster than the RTX 3070 on average, and the price $50 cheaper. So you're getting a faster overall GPU for a cheaper price. But you might be wondering, is that GPU going to perform 9% faster on my favorite game? Well, not really. This is 9% faster on average, meaning that in some games the 3070 is still better and in others the 6800 is better, but if you want to save $50 and have a great 1440p experience even faster than the 3070 on average, then feel free to go with AMD. You will have the RX 6800 down below in the video description as well. Then for the memory kit, I picked the Clev RGB 16GB of RAM. This is a 3200MHz CL16 RGB RAM. It looks pretty good, but there are other RAM kits for around the same price that look a bit different, so you may want to check those out as well, because maybe the aesthetic of this kit is not your favorite one, but for $54 I think that it's a really good deal for the RAM. For the storage, I picked a 1TB NVMe SSD. This is Gen 3 SSD and it's going to be fast enough for gaming. Literally, if you go with Gen 4, you're not going to notice a single difference when it comes to gaming performance. So for $65, you get a really fast SSD that's going to last a long time. Then for the case, I picked the Montec Air 100 ARGB Micro ATX case. This is going for $80. It's on a discount. It used to be $100, so you save $20. And I absolutely love the aesthetics of this case. And because we have a Micro ATX motherboard, I believe that this case is going to pair it really good and it's going to look amazing. However, you can get more budget oriented cases for $50 that are going to have enough airflow or the exact same airflow of this one, but those are ATX cases and we have a Micro ATX motherboard. This doesn't mean that it's not compatible, but it's going to look a bit weird. Anyway, you will have all the options like I mentioned before in the video description. But for $80 you're getting 4 ARGB fans and a front mesh panel with great airflow, so for me it was a no-brainer. Talking about the motherboard, I picked the ASRock B550 Micro ATX PG Riptide motherboard. This one once again will be more than enough and it has enough features for gaming, and it also has RGB for the price of $90. So this whole gaming desktop will have RGB. However, this motherboard doesn't include Wi-Fi, so if you want a motherboard that includes Wi-Fi, you're looking to spend around $20 extra. And last but not least, we have the power supply. I picked the Asus TUF Gaming 650 watt bronze power supply. This is a B tier rated power supply, meaning that the build quality is going to be amazing, and for $60 it's on sale right now. You save a 40%. I think that it's a really good deal. Now, if you really care about the electricity bills, then an 80 plus watt power supply might make more sense for you. And for that reason, like any other component, you will have different upgrades. Now, the total price for this PC by the time that I'm recording this video, it's $996. However, I do recommend you making an upgrade for an extra $20, which is putting a CPU air cooler, and I'm talking about the ID Cooling SE214XT. It's going to look better aesthetically because you have an RGB cooler instead of the AMD stock one, but it's also going to be more quiet and it's going to cool your CPU down, which, by the way, the stock cooler for the 5600 is enough, but I do recommend you doing this upgrade anyway for better temps and a more quiet experience. Like I said, it's $20, so if you can do the upgrade, do it, and if you can't, don't worry, you can do it down the line anyway. Then if you want to make downgrades without losing much performance, I would recommend you going with 500 gigs of SSD instead of 1 terabyte, especially if you play esports titles, and you're going to save around $30. But then if you want another downgrade, I would recommend you going with the 6800, which is not a downgrade actually, it's an upgrade in performance, but just like I said before, maybe you want the 3070, so this might not be your best option, but you're going to save $50 and you're going to get a better gaming experience. So for me, it's a no-brainer, but like I said, not everyone wants an AMD GPU for different reasons. But with those two downgrades, you're going to be saving around $70 and you are going to get the same or better performance with less storage. And if you want to make this PC a bit more expensive with better performance, I would recommend you upgrading the RAM to 32 gigs, especially if you want to do a streaming and you want to open a bunch of tasks while you're playing. But if you're just going to do gaming, I think 16 gigs will be enough. And another upgrade, if you care about electricity bills, like I mentioned before, would be the power supply, where you can get the Fantex AMP for $70 after a $30 rebate card, and this is a 650 watt 80 plus gold power supply, which is not going to make any difference on your gaming PC, but it's going to be more efficient. And it's also an A tier power supply, and the other one it's a B tier, meaning that it's a slightly better quality. And if you have any questions about this build, upgrades and downgrades, let me know in the comment section. I will be happy to help you out. If you got value out of this video, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly, hit that bell button, because I'm going to be uploading a bunch of deals for both Prebuilt PCs and PC builds for the Black Friday, so don't miss out on those deals. Maybe you can save a bunch of money, and I'm going to be updating you really soon. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.